what did you make of Clement's comments about the rebuild? He's saying we're only 4 months in. I don't know. I just sensed a lot of Rangers fans wouldn't really be having that.
They're not, but the manager's going to be sticking to it. He's been sticking to that since the summer. That's his line. He's not going to change now because results aren't going away. He warned in the summer that this wasn't going to be an easy season, that they have to basically tear up a squad and start again. They've not got the financial levels that they had last season. They've had to cut the wage bill. So I said he's always going to try and mitigate the results and explain it and offer his explanation for it. I think some of it stands true. Of course it is. You can look, they've cleared out, they've lost how many thousands of pounds worth of talent, they've lost how many games, hundreds of games worth of experience. What they haven't done is replaced it with guys who are ready yet, and what they haven't done is showing games that they're adaptable and that they can bring in guys that can show real potential. There's been fleeting moments of it, but not nearly enough, and that's where they criticism, because at the end of the day, Philippe Clement, you were the guy who signed these guys, you were the guy as a coach, your job's to make these guys better, and so far the evidence of improvement is very scant. And he was the one who said that by this point in the season you've been seeing a better level of performance. I think a lot of fans would disagree with that. I think you saw a 45-minute performance to the weekend that was dreadful in the first half against Dundee United. And okay, he says that they were better once they get Hadji on and Danilo on, and I can sympathise with the Danilo aspect. They were hoping to get him back a lot sooner than November. But remember, Yanis Hadji wasn't in Philippe Clement's plans at the start of the season. He said so himself. They were actively trying to get him out the door. They wanted rid of him. It was only when he agreed to take a wage cut or not to accept this increase in his salary that was due after playing 100 games. That's only when he came back into the plans. So I'm not sure you can sit there and go, oh, it's great we've now got Yanis Hadji back, when if things had worked out at the start of the season he wouldn't have been here. So I think there's I can see why fans are growing frustrated with some of the explanations from the manager.
Sorry to jump in, Scott, but I need to jump in because Cercle Bruges have scored against Hearts. Cercle Bruges won, Hearts now FA Kelly on the 40th minute, so not going well for the Jambos. Sorry, Scott, go on.
No, I was just going to say, listen, Andy's totally right about Hadji, and I actually think the manager, I think he's made the odds for his own back with all this rebuild talk. I think he'd probably do well to stop using that word, because by saying it was going to be a rebuild at the start of the season, it got fans excited. It got them kind of, they were expecting certain things, certain levels. And really what it's been, it hasn't been a rebuild, it's been a downgrade of the squad. And that's not Philippe Clement's fault. It's been a downgrade because the finances haven't been there and cutbacks have had to be made. Mm-hmm. And in various positions, they've downgraded in terms of the quality of player. Listen, the perfect example, and it's no slight on Connor Barron, but you let John Lundstrom leave and the replacement's Connor Barron. That's no part of a rebuild for me. So I think he'd have been better. I think he could have probably explained, maybe he didn't want to at the time, but I think he could have explained it a lot better in terms of what was happening at the club and how his hands were pretty much tied behind his back when it came to recruitment. And we discussed a few weeks ago that Rangers went to Pittodrie and lost to Aberdeen. 8 of the starting 11 were guys that were already in the squad. That's not a rebuild. And as Andy says, he's now relying on guys. He's relying on Hadji, who he'd completely written off. He's relying on Nico Raskin, who didn't seem to be part of the plans either. Couldn't get a game when Clement came in. He's having to turn back to guys, even Balogun, who's been there previously, because at times Proper hasn't looked good enough. So listen, I just think he's making it harder for himself at times, Philippe Clement, by using that kind of language about rebuilds and all that. Let's be clear here. It's Rangers in pre-season, moved the goalposts for the manager in terms of what was going to be available to him funds-wise. And as I say, maybe it wasn't his nature, but if he'd have been more honest about that and laid out how tough this was going to be, he might be getting a slightly